Alright boys, so we finally got our hands on the Marvel Rivals Zombies LTM, and I'm happy to say that it was absolutely worth the hype. This is the best LTM that Marvel Rivals has done so far, and they've done about 8 to 10 at this point. They even have an arcade queue set up with 6 of them. But I think what really makes this mode work is the depth for each hero, because there is a limited pool of heroes in this game mode. You only have access to 5 of them. But as you progress through this game mode, you'll level up these heroes, give them new depths of power. You can actually play this game mode on higher difficulties as well, and it's going to get pretty easy at the normal difficulty as you level up the heroes. While you're leveling up, you'll also have access to new powers for your cooldowns, unique abilities as well. My favorite in particular was Blade, because Blade in the lore of the Marvel Zombies show, he's an avatar of Khonshu now, since Moon Knight died in that universe. And when he's attacking, he'll spawn the Onks around the map, which quantifies his power. The game mode starts pretty simple as well. You're fighting small hordes across small legs of the map, but as you progress through the round, it's going to get a bit more complex, and there's certain parts of the map that vibe better with certain heroes. For example, when I was playing Punisher and I was in the little piano room, that was probably the hardest part of the map for him. But if you're on Thor and you're trying to play a boss, that's probably the hardest part of the map on that hero. So it creates a kind of ebb and flow between who's dominating during certain parts of these rounds. They also repurposed the perk system from the Ultron Battle Matrix protocol, and that auto-battling LTM was very complex, probably too complex for the Marvel Rivals player base, kinda out of the range of a hero shooter in general, but they simplified it and it works very well in this game mode. And you take these heroes to levels of power that you'll never see them in the regular game modes. Like, you can buff up Magic to the point where she's almost always in her Dark Child form. You can 10x Punisher's rifle magazine. You can turn Jeff into a DPS god, though let's be real, he kinda is a DPS god anyway. There's a lot to love in this game mode, and I think NetEase really knocked it out of the park. Couple cons though, and this seems to be a problem with all their game modes when they release them. It's a bit obtuse. It's hard to know what you're actually supposed to do, especially in the boss fights, because it doesn't really tell you. The first time I fought Scarlet Witch, we all got insta-gibbed because she does this cooldown where she makes crystals, and if you let the crystals charge, it takes out your whole team. But it doesn't tell you that. It was a bit of a knowledge gap. It's kind of like a FromSoft game, right? Where you don't know the busted ass attack the boss has until you actually get hit by the busted ass attack. I also think the hero choice of Thor was a bit weird. I'm not sure how he fits in the Marvel Zombies lore. I haven't actually watched the show, but I feel like his power level is probably the weakest in this game mode. He's the one who suffers the most and doesn't really vibe with the whole horde fighting style. To be real, I'm not sure what tank they could have picked in his place, but honestly, he's the least fun to play, in my opinion. And the final negative isn't even that big of a deal. It's just that the game mode is pretty simplistic, and you're going to be running it again and again to get your heroes to max level, so after the first couple of times, you're gonna figure it out pretty quickly. And the only way to increase damage is really to increase the health pools. So it's one of those game types where as you level up your character, as you get the right perks, it's gonna stay essentially the same difficulty because everything is gonna scale. It's not really gonna test strategies or combos or anything like that, but I mean, it is their first time attempting something of this style. So I'm willing to forgive that. I still think this is a high-level first attempt for something like this on NetEase's part. And in fact, the lead developer of this game mode has made mention that if it is successful, they may attempt to recreate it in the future, perhaps something with mutants versus sentinels. And there's a couple other scenarios that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think a horde fighter works better in Marvel Rivals than most of the LTMs they've attempted so far. And it definitely adds a little spice that there's some really cool skins related to this event, in particular the Blade Moon Knight skin, which is completely free because I think it's critical to the lore of this game mode, so they want to make sure everyone has that. But anyway, that's all for today's video. I just wanted to give a quick off-the-cuff review of this game mode right after I played it, so I can give you my raw thoughts on this. And we're going to try to do more videos like this in the future because I think it'll be really good for the channel, it'll be really good for discussion, and I do want to inspire discussion in the Marvel Rivals community related to all these things going on, because this is a busy game. The pace of this game is breakneck, and I feel like it's very easy to miss the happenings in this game. Anyway, comment down below how you're feeling about Marvel Rivals Zombies. Who's your favorite hero in this game mode? Are you even gonna grind this out, or are you just gonna grab the skins and go? Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next video.